with you for your running warm-up. And you may say, well, I start running slower, or I warm up in my run. Why do I need a running warm-up? And really, there are so many ways that a running warm-up benefits us, but the biggest ways are, one, it makes the run more fun. It helps us enjoy those early miles, or when we're first getting started and we might feel a little bit sluggish. But even more importantly than that, it helps us prevent injuries. So we really want to stay running and not be sidelined with an injury. And the ways to do that are to really take care of ourselves. And one of those ways is our dynamic warm-up. So you may be asking yourself, what is a dynamic warm-up? Or maybe I stretch before I run, isn't that good enough? And really, those things like our hamstring stretches, our quad stretches, those things are great at the end of our run. So after we've run, after we've really warmed up the muscles and worked the muscles, we want to then stretch them back to their resting length so that we can recover. But before we start running, we want to warm everything up, get it ready to move, get everything primed and ready. So that would be our muscles, our joints, and even our minds, so getting us in the mindset to run. So how do we then do that dynamic warm-up? What are the things that we need to do? And it's really not very complicated. We just need 5 or 10 minutes, and then we want to create some motions through the body, some big motions, some dynamic motions, so that way our joints and our muscles start to warm up gradually, and they're not shocked by us starting to run, and we have less of a chance of tearing something or really, just shocking something or hurting our joints. So again, big motions. We can start with something as simple as a squat. And how do we do that? So we can just, since we're warming up, come into a small squat, and then finding that motion, maybe as we're getting warmer, making the motion a little bit bigger, going a little deeper. We can spread our legs a little wider apart, coming down into that squat, and maybe even adding our arms a little more so we can extend them overhead. And then as we're squatting down, bringing the elbows in towards the ribs, really getting the upper body involved, remembering that running is a total body sport. It's not just about our legs. But some other motions that we can do for the lower body are things like hip circles, so bending through the knees, and really exaggerating that movement, going around in both directions, and just channeling your inner hula girl or hula guy as we go around in a nice, smooth, circular motion. And that really helps to get the core and the hips and glutes involved and get them ready to go. And the circular motion is awesome too, because when we run, we typically run forward and back. And we don't typically, we do run forward and back. Everything's moving forward and back. And most of our motions throughout our day are that same forward and back motion. So we're inviting some movement into the body that's a little bit different and really helps to create some wakefulness in the joints. Some other ways that we can do that are a single leg hip circle. So balancing on one foot, and we can soften that knee. We can either stay in that balanced position or hold on to a kitchen counter or our car, whatever we have near us. And then drawing that circle, so bringing the knee to the front of the body, out to the side, and then behind. And then making sure to go in both directions. Usually one side feels a little better than the other. That's very normal. But just making sure to go in both directions to create that fluidity. And then as always, want to go not only both directions, but using both legs, both sides of the body, creating a little bit of balance, even though our bodies really aren't super symmetrical, but as much as we can, keeping them balanced to the best of our ability. So we've done some circles with the hips, but now we're going to take them down to the knees. We can come up on the toes and back around the heels, making sure we're just kind of staying fluid with that motion. And we can go in both directions for this one as well. And this one is great because we're not only waking up the knee joint, but we're also waking up the thigh muscle, our quadriceps, as well as our calves and our shins, all the way down to the ankles and the feet. And then as well, we want to get that circular motion to the feet and the ankles. So again, we can have our balance, or we can hold on to something, and circling the ankle. And these circles might feel a little less than circular, and that's okay. Just making our best circle with the foot, and then we can point and flex the foot as well. So really waking up that ankle and the bottom of the foot. So our arches and the toes, and remembering that a lot of times we take for granted our feet and our ankles when it comes to running. So giving them a little bit of attention as well, doing those circles and the pointing and flexing of the foot. And then finally, we really also want to address our hip flexors. So a lot of times we talk about our hip flexors, and that's what we commonly call our psoas muscle, or part of our psoas muscle. The psoas actually runs on both sides of the body, from the low back, crossing the hips to the front of the thigh. And so it's a very, very long muscle, and if it becomes tight, we might actually find that we're bending over, we have some low back pain, maybe some inner thigh pain. And some ways that we can warm up the psoas and the hip flexor before we start running is to just cross the body with the leg, doing a swinging motion from one side to the other. Making sure, again, always, always, always doing both sides of the body as equally as we can. And then finally, we can come into a nice knee kick. So lifting the knee into a high kick and then coming behind the body. So a nice high march and then extending the leg behind the body. We can do that as a balancing motion once again, or holding on to something, or we can even just come into a nice high march, just going from one side of the body to the other. So I really, really hope you enjoyed these tips, and I hope they help your running. And if you do like these tips, please, please like our video wherever the button may be. And then also please subscribe. I'll be sharing videos every week for all different kinds of topics, whether it's running, yoga, or other aspects of your health and wellness. And I really hope you stay tuned. Enjoy your run, and thanks so much for watching.